Good morning, Sheree. Here is your machine, the Breville Barista Touch BES880 in black stainless steel. Congrats on the purchase. I unboxed this machine last night and set it up, and now I'm going to make my morning latte on it. So just turning it on. This machine has the new thermojet heating system, so within 5 seconds it's ready to go. There's no like heating time or wait time or anything like that. So it's fairly quick, and it's the same for the steam. It's fairly quick to switch to the steam mode and to switch back to coffee mode. So I think that's going to be very convenient for you. You do want to warm up the machine before you make a coffee on it. On these units, on this model particularly, it's recommended to do that by putting the portafilter on, just slightly, putting your cup underneath, and then pressing the double button. That's going to run hot water through the system, through the portafilter, through the cup, and it's going to warm all those three together. So just being careful not to scratch your machine. And for the video, I've put my own portafilter, my own tamper, and my own bean hopper from a different machine, so that we don't make the other components dirty for your machine. So your machine comes with everything else, brand new. It's the bean hopper, the milk jug, all your baskets, papers and manuals, water filter, razor tool, cleaning tools, and obviously the tamper and portafilter. Everything's nice and shiny as you would expect. I'm going to leave those untouched for the video. I'm going to use my own so that we don't make them dirty. Okay, so just putting on the cup, press the double. Just going to warm things up pretty nicely for us. I'm also going to be using my own milk jug so that I don't use your milk jug for the same reason. Just let that run for I think it goes for 30 seconds. So it's gonna make it really nice and hot. So using full cream cold milk, I filled the jug to about halfway. Created a bit of a mess as well. So. Yeah, okay, that's good. So after the blank shot, take out the cup, put it on the side. Actually, put it on top. That's fine. Get rid of the hot water. And I want to dry the portafilter. So the machine, your machine comes with 4 baskets, 2 pressurized and 2 unpressurized. The pressurized variety are on the right hand side of the packet. Those ones are for pre-ground coffee, or for like coffee that's hard to get right, or coffee that's stale, you can say. If you're using fresh beans, I would recommend you use the one that's already in the handle when your machine arrives, which is the basket in here. That's the double-sized single wall basket. This is like the classic coffee basket that people use in the cafes, etc. And it's gonna give you the best shot and the best consistency. This takes 18 grams of coffee, so I'm gonna hopefully I'll adjust the grinder to give us that much. So you can do it in like a double quantity for, let's say, 18 seconds. Or you can do it in like a single quantity twice in a row. So if you do the single quantity for 9 seconds, tap it, or tamp it with the tamper, do it again. That's probably going to be more consistent, and it's going to reduce the spillage. Otherwise, the coffee might just build up and spill over the sides. So the grinding part of this machine is manual, and the milk is automatic. So that's what makes this machine semi-automatic. So I'm going to turn on my scale, reset to 0, and then let's try 18 seconds. So last night I made a coffee on grind size number 15, and that was a touch too quick. It was fine. It was actually a pretty good shot, but it was a touch too quick. So I brought it down to grind size 12, which is a bit finer. Hopefully to slow it down. So finer grind size will slow down your coffee. A larger grind size will increase the speed or make it go quicker. I'm gonna add some beans. I'm using the Coles brand to test, not the best beans in the world, but they'll do the job. You know, the best bean you can get is freshly roasted from your local roaster in New South Wales. So I'll try that. But for learning, you can try any supermarket bean. I would recommend Aldi and sometimes Coles for that practicing phase. But once you get things right and you get comfortable with the grinding and tamping, I'd go for the freshly roasted beans. I'm just going to get rid of the first dose because I've changed the grind size last night. So getting rid of that because it's like a hybrid grind size because I changed it. And I cancel, and let's keep it at 18 seconds. So I'm going to grind for 10 seconds, then press it down, measure it, press it down. Okay. We have about 7 grams, so we might have to go for a few seconds more. So I'm going to press it, and continue. Okay, it reset because I waited too long. I think it gives you like 10 seconds before you resume. So we ground, what was that? We ground 8 seconds. Okay, just doing a bit of maths here. So hopefully 22 seconds will be what we want, which is, what do we want? We wanted 18 grams of coffee. So 11 seconds would give us 8 grams. So yeah, I'll let you experiment with the grinding and the grind amounts. Different beans will be sort of easier or harder to grind. So whatever I set it up here will be approximate and not exact to what you should be having. And that's 18.4 grams. So just gonna trim it a little bit until it's 18 grams exactly. There we go, that's 18 grams exactly. More or less this is what it looks like filling on top. So what I'm trying to say is 18 grams would probably be looking like this before you tamp it firmly. So filling the top of the basket all the way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spread it with my fingers so that when I tamp, it's like an even surface getting compressed rather than like a mound concentrated in the middle and the sides being too loose. So I'm going to press it nice and firm with a tamper, make sure it's even, make sure it's flat, and then look at the depth of the tamper. So a good guide, if you don't have a scale or if you're in a hurry and you wanted to check your quantity, just look at the depth of the tamper. If you tamp and this silver part disappears, that means you've got the correct dose. So this is 18 grams exactly as we confirmed by our scale. And you see the tamper goes exactly this deep. So it's a nice little trick you can use to check your quantity. And this is the same for the other baskets, like the single and the dual wall baskets. So you want it to be at least this deep. If it's too high and it doesn't go any deeper than this, for example, then that's too much coffee, and you want to trim it. You've got the razor tool included in the machine with the machine. that's going to trim the excess and remove that top surface. And if it's going way too deep, then that's too little coffee and you want to increase the dose. So let's put it at 25 seconds. That's going to hopefully give us the correct amount of coffee, which is 18 grams. But I'll let you try exactly. I think we're done here. Because we've got 18 grams. So I'm going to clean the edges and lock it in. And you only need to lock it in sort of in the middle because obviously it's a new machine. The rubber seal is very tight and fresh, so you don't have to push it all the way to create a good seal. It's pretty tight as is. So I'm going to aim to go to at least the middle so that it's stable in place. I'm going to get rid of this hot water. You also have a hot water spout actually for like long black coffee or warming up your cups. I'm going to use a little bit of hot water because I like to add a bit of sugar to my coffee. So yeah, this hot water will help the sugar dissolve. That's just me. Fantastic. Now I'm going to use my scale to measure the output. So just placing my cup and resetting the scale. So the input was 18 grams. We want to double the input when it comes to the output. So we want to get 36 grams of coffee out in the 30 seconds that we brew. So it's a double. I selected a latte. I didn't really show you, but I was in the latte menu. Hopefully you can see that on yeah, not really. Let me focus my camera. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that's a bit better. So I selected the latte. On the left is the grind, so you've got the button to start grinding. You also have a button here that you can click with the portafilter. You have the timer, and then you've got the grind size display here. You obviously change the grind size on the left. You've got a dial for it. That's going to make it finer or coarser. You push away to go fine, you bring it to you to make it coarser. In the middle you've got the brew, and you can here select the single or double. We're using a double, so we'll keep it there. Hot water button, and then the steaming mode. So if you pull it up, it's manual. Push it down, it's automatic with a level of froth selection here. So I'm gonna make it 60 degrees, which is my preferred temperature, and I'm gonna put it at 7 for the froth, which is not the most froth you can get. Obviously, it goes up to 9. I think 9 or 10. Yeah, it goes up to 8 actually. So 7 is the second most highest level of froth you can get. I'll press the brew. It's got a timer, so it'll tell us how long our shot gone for. Yeah, like I said, we have our settings right. Not sure if you can see that. It's like a nice, smooth, symmetrical flow. Right now, it's looking pretty good. And the creme is developing as well. I might stop it there. That's 25 seconds. I think that's about 40 grams. Just letting it drip, drip, drip. Then pulling it out carefully. Let's see. That's exactly 39 grams. So let's show you what that looks like. 38.9. Sorry about the mess. This is my testing area, so it's a bit dirty. But yeah, this is 39 grams. This is what it looks like. Got a nice amount of crema, and that's 25 seconds. So not perfect, but pretty close. Okay. Let me focus on the screen once more. Yeah, so 39 grams, that's fine. I was aiming for 36 in 30 seconds, so this is telling me that it's a little bit too quick, so maybe next time I'll try grind size number 10. Hopefully that'll bring it to 30 seconds instead of 25. But had I let it go for 30 seconds, it would have probably given me too much coffee, and my coffee would have probably tasted a bit too sour or burnt maybe. Okay, I'm going to put this on the side, mix it up. Start steaming for the milk. You don't want your shot to sit for too long. So selected my settings, 60 degrees and froth number 7. Make sure when you put the when you put the jug, that it's touching the steam temperature sensor. It's that little knob or nugget on the right hand side. It doesn't have to be center, but it just has to touch so that the machine knows what temperature it's dealing with. Press the froth and it will do everything automatically. It's pretty magical. In the meantime, you could just use the time to clean the machine. So take out the water filter, knock it into a knockbox. Rinse it under the sink. What I usually like to do is to rinse it under the shower screen. I'm going to do that after I clean the wand. So grab a tissue or a towel, take out the milk jug, and straight away wipe the wand. So the wand is very nicely designed to not burn the milk when it steams, so you can touch it right away. It's like a dual layer. So even with the tissues, a dry tissue, it cleaned the milk. There are problems. So on the other machines, such as my manual machine over there on the left, I have to get a wet towel and like scrub the milk away because it gets burnt on that hot wand. On this one, it's dry and it's cold. So even with a dry towel or a tissue, it'll wipe it pretty instantly. Just when you push it down, it might create a bit of a mess. It sprays a bit of water and air to clean the inside of the wand. That's the only time I would recommend getting a wet towel or a tissue for the machine itself, not just the wand. Maybe around the hole here. But yeah, it's not the biggest problem in the world. Then to rinse the portafilter, I just press the brew in the middle here, just like before. That's going to use the hot water to rinse the shower screen on top and also your portafilter. So in this case, my portafilter. It's fine, I'll just put this on the sink. And yeah, now the machine is ready to make another coffee. Excellent. Yeah, just final touches. Before leaving the machine, you can place the portafilter just very lightly in the group head. You don't have to lock it in all the way. Again, if you're not making a coffee, you don't have to put pressure on that rubber seal. Try to keep it dry and clean as much as possible. And every now and then grab a tissue or a towel and wipe the group head seal. There's usually a bit of coffee grounds left even after rinsing and flushing, so it's good practice to just keep that clean as well. Not letting my milk go cold. I'm gonna swirl it around, mix it up, and then there's a few air bubbles. That's normal. So I'm gonna knock the jug on the countertop to break any air bubbles. And swirl it around to mix it up. Do this a few times until the surface is nice and smooth. And you can do latte art with this machine if you practice enough. I don't practice, so I don't usually do latte art. But every now and then I get the occasional heart or rose or something like that. In this case I got a blob. But yeah, it's a good amount of froth that we got, a good amount of crema from the espresso shot as well. Looks good. I'm looking forward to having this coffee for sure. And yeah, I'm sure you can do even better coffees on this machine. Congrats for the purchase again. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the machine. And if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate in messaging me. And yeah, I'll be in touch. Thanks.